Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at no ice cream in your pocket. Apparently a law in the state of Kentucky. Have you ever heard of this? I'd never heard of this until I saw this video. Apparently, it's not just illegal to have ice cream in your pocket in Kentucky. It's also illegal to have a snowball in your pocket. Now, I'm sure that this is going to make a lot of kids very sad, especially if they live in Kentucky. So sad. So this video was originally posted to TikTok by this guy. And you can see he's talking to his friend and he's like, "Bro, what are you doing?" Because his friend is holding an ice cream cone and he's like about to put it in his pocket. And the guy's like, "Dude, you can't do that." So then he puts it in his pocket and then he's like, "Wait, hold up." And so then the camera guy looks in his pocket and he's like, "Oh my God." And yeah, so he's freaking out because his friend just put a scoop of ice cream in his pocket. So this was the original video, and everything was fine and dandy. But then somebody took this clip and they edited it and made it into a meme, and they added some text and they posted it to Instagram. And that's how this whole thing went viral. So this first one says, "When your ice cream starts melting and you don't have a spoon." And then the second one says, "When you got two hands but can only hold one cone, but..." It's like a freeze frame of him putting the ice cream in his pocket. And then the text at the bottom says, "Illegal in Kentucky." And then the last one says, "Normal people eat ice cream. One Kentucky outlaw pocket storage." But let's take a look at the actual law, too. The law actually reads, "It shall be unlawful for any person to keep in his or her pocket any ice cream, frozen custard, gelato, sorbet, or other similar novelties which has been removed from its packaging." So basically, if you buy a scoop of ice cream and then you put it in your pocket, you technically are breaking the law. You've got to keep it in the packaging. I personally think this is such a weird law. Like, why would you put ice cream in your pocket anyways? It doesn't even make sense to me. Like, if you're going to put it in your pocket, it needs to be in the packaging. Otherwise it's gone, melt, and then you re-gone, have a big old mess in your pocket. And I also want to point out that this law also applies to snow. So, if you go out and you get a snowball and you put that in your pocket, that's also breaking the law. What are you doing? You just got to keep it in the wrapper. Is that so hard? Now, this law has been around since 2016. That's when it went into effect. And I'm sure that there's probably been hundreds of people that have been arrested for this. Just kidding. I looked it up. There hasn't been anybody arrested for this. This isn't like a super serious law. They're not really going to come down on you that hard if you break this law. Maybe they'll give you a warning. Maybe they won't even give you a warning. Maybe they'll just laugh and be like, "Oh, you're just trying to put a scoop of ice cream in your pocket. Come on, man. Let's just move on." So, if you ever find yourself in Kentucky and you're craving some ice cream, just make sure that you don't put it in your pocket. Keep it in the wrapper or just eat it right away before it melts. Well, that's all I have for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Also, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe.